Hello guys, this is Kaishiro. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, we're going to cover top 5 rogue decks of March 2023 OCG format. So this is the best rogue decks that you can use or play in the remainder of the January 2023 ban list format. So without further much ado, let's get started. Coming at number 5, we have Beastial Thunder Dragon. So Beastial Thunder Dragon is a good deck to answer the meta on this format. So as you can see, we have Beastial to counter the very best deck, the Tier Laments, of course. You need the Beastial monsters to banish the Shayren, Merly, Havnis to cancel out their fusion mechanic on the graveyard. So Beastial helps you to out them. And also the Thunder Dragon has the capability to bring out Thunder Dragon Colossus that is very detrimental against the combo decks right now. It's just the sprite variants of Beastial Sprite. And also, it is good also on other meta decks such as Exosister and Purely because they tend to add for card advantage as well. And also against Adamancipator and Super Heavy Samurai. So, Beastial Thunder Dragon answers a lot of the meta relevant decks right now on the format. So, this is my very good, what do you call this? Very good parameter to indicate that this is a good rogue deck because it answers a lot of meta decks currently. This is only rank 5 on my list because Beastial is very dangerous to pick up or play right now because the ban list is upcoming in a following week. So, Beastial might get hit at either its Lobelion or the other Beastial parts. So, this is very underwhelming if the Beastial will get hit on the ban list. Other cards that you should look out for are Ghost Bell because Beastial Thunder Dragon operates on their graveyard, so Ghost Bell is a good answer to good card to answer them. And also Gamashell the Turtle Kaiju because it can out the Thunder Dragon Colossus in an instant. The good thing about this Beastial Thunder Dragon is they can play around floodgates like skill drain. They can optimally play this card on their deck and still be able to play on the game. So yeah, Thunder Dragon Beastial is my number 5 best rogue deck on this list. Coming at number 4, we have Sword Soul Tenyi. Sword Soul Tenyi is a very reliable deck to pick up all the time since their release on the Burst of Destiny or Bode. They became a staple deck for a lot of players up until this date because they are very efficient, very good to pick up, and doesn't have really bad matchups on the format. So, Sword Soul is a safe deck to pick up if you are looking to conquer or compete the meta. Sword Soul also can bring out Barone, which is a very powerful boss monster at their disposal. And also, they can easily play the, what do you call this card, the weird monster that can single out the attributes on this format. Especially, you can call Dark on this Protoss because Dark is very prevalent on the format. So, Protoss can help you to answer the Dark attribute decks. And also, you have the Tenyi cards to supplement its going second potential and capability to play around the board of your opponent. So, Tenyi Vishuddha, Ashuna, and Adhara helps you to combat those problematic boards and improve your consistency. The downside of the Sword Soul strategy is they are very weak against the very prevalent hand traps on the format, such as this Ghost Mourner, Veiler, Ghost Ogre, Imperm. They can get easily affected by these hand traps that you can always see on the metagame. So, hand traps can stop them from doing their plays. And also, the problem of Sword Soul is they can be very prone to back row board wipe cards such as Dark Ruler No More and other cards that can destroy their board or disintegrate it. So, the solution of the Sword Soul players around those problematic board wipe cards are side decking a lot of going first cards, as anti-spell, fragrance, and solemn judgment to protect their board from being annihilated by those cards. So yeah, Sword Soul is my number 4 best rogue deck on this list. Sword Soul Tenyi particularly. Coming up next, we have Hero. Hero recently got its support on the pack from the V-Jump, I guess. Or I forgot the name of the uh, uh, pack or series. But they got a recent support from that pack, and the good capability of Hero is to answer, of course, the best deck tier elements, because Hero Hero Dark Claw, Mass Hero Dark Claw has the capability to shut down the graveyard mechanics and interactions of your opponent. This is a walking macrocosmos, and it will eventually shut down tier elements if you went first and you are able to summon this card. It is a very commanding position for the hero players to be in if they went first against the very best deck, tier elements. And also, Forbidden Droplet is very good on the format, because the format, as I have said earlier, has a lot of combo decks on this format. So, Forbidden Droplet helps you to ease out those problem, and Forbidden Droplet is very beneficial on heroes as well, because you can just pitch the Denier and Malicious that has graveyard usage on the hero. So Droplet is very beneficial to the heroes, and the problem of hero is they are susceptible to a lot of board wipe cards such as Raigeki, Change of Heart, Lightning Storm. They can get destroyed or devastated by these going second cards that will destroy their board, because they don't have a negate protection at their side. So these cards are very problematic against them. And also, they are also weak against the Nibiru, because Nibiru can literally stop them from doing anything if it's timed perfectly to a hero player. And also, the very popular side deck of D Barrier, because a lot of dominant decks right now are reliant on one summoning mechanic, such as Purely and Exosister into XYZ summon and Kashtira as well. So D Barrier is a good card to topple the hero. So yeah, these are the cards that you should look out for if you are playing hero. So hero makes my number 3 on this list. Coming at number 2, we have Laundries. This is also a deck that came out at the Burst of Destiny, like Sword Soul. And like Sword Soul as well, they become a staple deck on the format for a very long time. The longevity of Fluandris is very unheard of, but they are very potent at the same time, because after those hits, the Magnificent Map, the Prosperity Hit, and other Fluandris damages, they are still one of the most reliable decks until this date. So what makes Laundries very good? They can play the shifter that is very strong against the tier elements, because shifter will shut down the tier element strategy entirely, and also their ability to play around and nullify the maxi is very good in a huge scale, because OCG revolves around playing Maxi, because this is a very game warping card and very mandatory on the main deck. So Laundries is a deck that doesn't get affected by Maxi, and Laundries also has a very good going first tendency. They have the Dreaming Town and what do you call this card? I forgot this card. Feather Storm. They have a very good going first to shut down a lot of decks, especially this card. This is like a VFD that can instantly win you games. And also, this Dreaming Town helps you to interrupt your opponent with Mega Raiza and protect your board with Avian on the follow through, because this card will make you normal summon on the opponent's turn. The problem of Laundries is the hand traps as well. Like Sword Soul, they are very weak against the hand traps that are very relevant in the format. And also, they are prone to back row destroying cards or back row removal cards, such as Twin Twister, because their cards are only usable on the main phase most of the time. This Dreaming Town and the Magnificent Map. So Twin Twister will uh, slow them down on the process. And also, Droll and Lockbird is very good against Laundries, because the bread and butter of Laundries will revolve around adding cards to their hand. So Droll and Lockbird will stop them from doing anything. So Laundries is my number 2 best deck on this format. Best rogue deck on this format. At number 1, we have the most recent Vanquish Shoal from the Wild Survivors pack. So Vanquish Shoal is a new deck on this format, but they saw early success on their introduction. So I make them worthwhile. So I mentioned the Vanquish Shoal on this list because this is a deck that is very capable to rise on the format and the metagame. The most reliant interruption of Vanquish Shoal is the pseudo Book of Eclipse that they can use to face down the opponent's monsters. So Vanquish Shoal has a really legitimate way of interacting and disrupting your opponent, because flipping face down the cards is very substantial and devastating on a lot of decks right now, such as purely Exorcister and even Kashtira. They cannot make plays if they are face down. So Vanquish Shoal is really consistent as well. They can play a lot of pot cards such as Pot of Desires, Pot of Prosperity, Pot of Extravagance. They can all play this card on the deck, and they have a lot of searchers such as Tenki and Durendal, the Noble Knights, Infernoble Durendal. So this deck is very consistent at the moment, and they have a lot of good tech cards and cards that improves their synergy using the Beastial Magnamut and the Kurikara Divine Incarnate and other Earth type hand traps, because their mechanic has a function that they can search card depending on the attribute that they revealed on their hand. So they can search fire like this, fire attributes from Kurikara, as well as dark from the Beastial Magnamut, and Beastial cards also has good interactions against the elements and the earth hand traps, just the Retaliating Sea. And this card can also shut down purely. So they have a good and interesting mechanic to play on the Vanquish Soul strategy. They can also rely on playing floodgates, such as there can be only one, because they have multiple types on this Vanquish Soul strategy. So they can play there can be only one to stun a lot of decks right now. And the problem of Vanquish Soul is they don't have a legitimate follow-up if they got board wipe. So they are susceptible to a lot of board clearing cards such as Evenly Match and other cards that I have mentioned earlier. And also the ceiling of this deck is quite underwhelming, to be honest, for me, because I don't feel like this deck is that powerful enough to dominate the format. But nonetheless, this is a very good deck and interesting one to pick up, and who knows if it may get new support on the following sets that we can have. So this is my number 1 best rogue deck on this format. So recap, we have at number 5 we have Beastial Thunder Dragon. At number 4 we have Tenyi Sword Soul. At number 3 we have Hero. At number 2 we have Laundries. At number 1 we have Vanquish Shoal. So these are my top 5 rogue decks on March 2023. OCG format. Thanks for watching. I hope you learn a thing or two. And see you on the next one. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for this kind of content and hit the notification bell for more updates. Peace.
Fighting ways to get away.